All right, guys, what's up? Welcome back. Another video here. This one is going to be about the port job, do-it-yourself porting of the Supercharger on my 2000 Ford Lightning. So I'm in the middle of taking the Supercharger out. I'm gonna try to port it myself, see how that comes out. Do that, spark plugs. This all started with spark plugs, by the way. Spark plugs and vacuum rubber pieces here that I need to replace kind of snowballed into this. So it looks pretty gunky in there, so I'm gonna just go ahead and clean it up. And then I was like, you know what, let me just see if I can port it. So we're gonna port this thing. Just gonna try to port it myself, keep it on a budget. And then also, when I have the Supercharger, I'm gonna try to clean up as much as I can in here. So, yep, that's the gist of it. I got the upper plenum off. So, AccuFab, single blade throttle body. And here's kind of what that looks like. It's pretty gunky in there. So, we're also, I think people port the hole here for the plenum to match. You'd also port this bigger, and you port match those two, and on the inside. So we'll get to that once I get all this off. I gotta take my belt off of the pulley, so I'm gonna do that right now, and then start taking the bolts off on the side. And I think there might be some stuff in the back I gotta unhook, and just kind of take you guys through the process of this, see how far we can get, and see if we don't mess nothing up. All right, so we got some progress made on the Supercharger removal. So there's the head unit right there. I gotta say, it don't look too bad for 200,000 mile. So there's the Supercharger, plenum. Here's the brick. So air to water, intercooler, basically. You got your water hoses that go there. This one, so the Supercharger sits on top of here. So you got these 8 bolts to take off. That takes the Supercharger off, and the front side of this. And you got these other 4 on the back, and that's what takes the whole thing out. So then you're left with this. I gotta say, it looks definitely, there's a little puddle of oil there. Well, I guess you guys can tell what I did, but we ended up taking out the whole turkey pan part of it. So here that is. I'll have to take these coil packs off when I go to put them back in, so I can make sure they go into the spark plugs. But here's that little thing they did. See if I can get you guys right there. So they just put another hose and they plugged it off here. But really, what I did to my other one, and what most people tend to do, is you take this piece off, and you just get a plug, basically that threads in there, and you just plug it up, and you don't have to worry about this line here down the road starting to rub on something or get cut up or deteriorate, and then you start having a fucking vacuum leak. So just get rid of it all at once. It's a pain in the butt to do this in the truck, I'll tell you, because this little edge right here is sharp, and you end up putting your hand like right against it here, because you're between the firewall and this part. But it wasn't too bad to take out. 10 mils all throughout here, all throughout this side. The thermostat ones are here, and then alternator bracket bolt and bolt here. It comes with this hose. You can take it out from there, but I just left mine on. This hose over here's got a tear in it. I noticed that when I was taking off. Oh, fuck. The Supercharger. It's kind of hard to see, but let's see if I can get a better shot of that. You can see it. Oh yeah, there you go. See it? Yep. So it's small, but that's gonna have to get fixed. I don't know if I can shorten it and still be able to Hold on, I'm zooming the fuck in. Hold on. There you go. I don't know if I'll be able to shorten it and just move it down and still reach. I forget where this used to go. I think it used to go somewhere over here to the front. So I might have to get a different hose or just buy this exact hose somewhere. But yeah, it's got a little pinch hole there. I'm glad I caught that before I put everything back together because that would have sucked. Other than that though, I think that's it for as far as like tearing apart stuff here. All right, so I've been kind of attempting to port the plenum here. I bought this little tool here at Harbor Freight. It's already dead, so yeah, a little Dremel tool. I got this super small bit on it. It came with this little kit. I'm gonna go see if I can find a bigger one for this purpose because these are kind of small. So it came with those two right there, and then with that one, but they're kind of small. Everything else is other stuff. I don't know what these pink ones are. I don't think these pink ones are gonna be aggressive enough. So the tool works fine though. I mean, it worked. It's just kind of small, the bit I have. So I'm gonna get a bigger one, but so you can kind of see that. So I'm just basically trying to match the gasket. If you look here, kind of see there's the gasket and then there's the casting here. So basically just shaving all of that down up to the gasket so we can match the gasket. So I'll probably still come when I'm done and with one of these, maybe that's what the pink ones are. These pink ones might be like just kind of clean it up. Or if not, I'll use one of these little sanding wheels here just to kind of clean it up. I don't know, I've never used one of these before, so kind of practicing on the plenum here, see what it looks like with this, and then the big one is going to be the Supercharger itself. Check this out. So got a new bit for the Dremel tool, and this is a lot cleaner and faster. You can kind of see over here, that's with the little round ball one that I had that came with the kit, and then this, from this point in there, it's all with this new one that I got. This one's a little bit bigger, or a lot bigger, so I get more surface, you know, and it looks a little bit more aggressive. But so I can show you guys. I also bought this, but I don't think I would need it. I'll show you guys the one I was started off with. No, where's it at? There it is. It's this sucker. So a lot smaller compared to that one. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Anyways, I need this piece here from here to there. I'm gonna clean up this stuff that I did with yesterday with that little ball one, so it matches this. Looks a lot cleaner, smoother. So I'll finish all of this here, and I think I'll be done with the plenum. I'm gonna take all this off, this throttle body and the sensor here, so I could brake clean it and clean out all the shavings, because I'm sure I got shavings in there. Look at that. Huge. This is the plug. All right, so let's see if I can show you guys real quick. Okay, so this is gonna go and plug up this hole back here. So let's just make sure it's the right thread, because yeah, okay. So there you go. You put that in, you plug it up, and I forget if I used any type of thread sealant. I think I did, but yep, that's the plug for that turkey pan. Well, here is the supercharger part. I don't know what you call this casing, supercharger casing, I don't know. But we're gonna port the top of this, right? Match this to the plenum, right? So match that. That'll be easy. And then we're gonna port this triangle a little bit bigger. Probably port these a little bit bigger. And then see if we can get away with making a hole here. I was gonna cut these out, but when I was pulling the actual blades out, I've noticed this piece here, about maybe inch and a half, probably bigger, goes in. So that actually sits right about here. You can kind of see right there's where all the way where it comes in. You can see a line, and the bottom's out right here, right? And so you can kind of see right there, definitely right there. You can see it. You can see that line. So that thing comes and lines up basically there. So there's really no point in porting that out because no air. The blades aren't spinning there to push air out. You know what I'm saying? The blades start spinning from, you kind of tell where it's dirty and then it looks clean again. That's where the blades start. So I'll maybe just clean up this little edge here a little bit. Because yeah, that thing comes in and covers this up basically. So there's really no point, no advantage to cutting this whole notch out and making it a big triangle, because there's going to be a piece there and the blades start from here this way either way, so it's not going to matter. So I'm going to port this out a little bit bigger, cleaned up these edges, port these out a little more, and then see if we can make a hole there. If not, I'll probably just leave it like that, because I was looking at it, it's pretty thick. And I don't want to crack nothing either. And I don't really have a legit setup to do this stuff with, so we might just send it like that. But yeah, so we got this thing out, leaked the supercharger oil. I'm gonna have to put some in whenever I put it back in. The snout part came out separate. I've seen videos where this whole thing comes out together. Mine came out with this piece, and then that piece came out. So I hope I don't I didn't mess something up. There wasn't no gasket here, so I don't know if I'm gonna look up, do some research, see if I need a gasket or what I need to put to make sure this doesn't leak when I put it back together. But yeah, so I put some tape down there because there's two holes for the bearings where these two right here insert and they ride in there. So some bearings, and I don't want to get shavings in there. So we're gonna just tape those up, and then yeah, I'll probably start with this stuff right here right now, and then figure out if I can do that hole, and then we'll move on to the easy part, which is that upper plenum part that matches that. That's kind of easy. So yeah, let's get to it. Fuck. All right, so we have finally concluded the porting of the supercharger. Here's a big chunk I took out. This is about an inch and a quarter hole saw is what I used. So put a video in of my rig, but this drill bit's inside of it to basically keep you from wandering off. I just finished the top part, so it really only needed over here on this side. You can see the holes are lined up, and on this side I didn't really do nothing because it was already pretty lined up. It just had a lot on this side, so shave that down. So yeah, just use the gasket to get a better idea of what we're looking at. Line this one up. Nice. Flush with the gasket and stuff. So, and then we have the bottom of the supercharger done. So there's the hole here. Okay, these little cutouts here, open them up a lot more. And then the triangle, just shaved a little bit off of it, not too much, but just gave it a little more. So, yep. Now I just gotta clean this deal up. Brake clean the hell out of it, get all the shavings out. I gotta throw some brake clean into the brick, clean the brick up, get all the oil out of it. Brake clean the hell out of this, clean this up really nice, and go ahead and start putting this back into the supercharger after I have everything cleaned up. New supercharger oil, and we can start assembling this thing back together. I don't know if I need a tune. It's just a port job. I don't think I'm gonna need one, but I'll do some research. I don't think I'll need a tune though. Spark plugs. Got the new ones in. So I used to have some TR6s, which is a good plug, but they're actually not that bad. There's a couple that are looking a little rusty and old. This one, like this one here, but some of these ain't too bad. Okay, so good news. Finally, we are done with this project. I have an absolute mess I have to clean up, but it's done. So, well, I say done. I haven't turned it on. I just put the battery on. So I got to fire it up, make sure. My main concern, the seal for the snout is not going to leak. That I did my vacuum lines right, and then I got to bleed and add, if I need to add coolant to the supercharger tank and the coolant tank over there. So but yeah, so let's bring you guys through kind of what I did. Obviously everything's put back together, but vacuum line wise, let's see. So we have the EGR delete, so there's none of the factory EGR and all that shit going on here. So I got a couple plugs, a couple connectors loose that aren't gonna do nothing. But basically you have this 2 ports here. One of them is for your EGR, or I think it's the evap. Yeah, the evap shit right here. And then you have that white one. It does a 90 and it goes back there. You have this one, this black one. So this one goes all the way to the back, loops around here, and is this little black one that goes up here. Okay, so that's where that one came from. Down there, for the mid plate, you have 2 lines coming out. That's kind of hard here because there's just so many damn vacuum lines with these year trucks. This year, 2 valves in Mustang and in trucks has so many freaking vacuum lines. It's kind of hard to kind of make it look clean, but one of them goes to the fuel pressure regulator right there. You can see right there. Okay, then the other one, which I can't really find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the other one is this black one right there. Let's see if I can, right here. Okay, that's that one, and it goes into a T. Okay, and the T goes to that line that goes inside to your cluster for your boost gauge, for the factory boost gauge. And then this T goes, and it goes up to the upper port on your bypass valve, which is this black thing right here. And it has another one on the bottom, right there. It looks like it's got a line to it, but right there. That one right there. And that one on a factory setup would run and go under your intake. But you can also leave it like that It's just you can run the risk of getting like dirt or bugs in there. I'm gonna leave it like that because I don't have a place to put one into my intake here. So that's how that's gonna be. Then you have your other one here, this one, and it runs to the booster. I don't know if this is factory or not, but that's just kind of how it was before. It's kind of how it's gonna go back right now. Then you have the sensor here is chilling. This is, I think, is your ambient sensor, ambient air sensor. Then there's a couple ones, like this one, and there's another one somewhere that is just chilling. I think it's this one. Yeah, there's two here. So these two, it's just stuff that used to go before when I had the EGR stuff, but it's got an EGR delete now, so these just kind of get tucked away so they kind of look a little cleaner. But so that's this side. Then you have your intake. Your intake's got one under there. Oh, well, it's kind of hard to find a place to stick my light axes. There you go. Okay, so this one runs on there and over here into your valve cover. This other line runs over here under the snout and over here to this elbow. I think it's for this IAC right there. Then we have, then on this side, we got this plug here. It's got 3 of them. This black one is the one that goes to the bottom of that evap stuff. This red one and this bigger black line, okay, run this way. I did a patch here because these lines, these old, look at this rubber, it was just old. So fix that right there. They both run this way and they go here. You can see where I did a fix here too, because this one was done for, and I did a fix here too. So but here's where the black one goes, and then the red one goes down here. I seen a video, a guy actually had the red one cut off and plugged up here, and then he had it plugged up over here. Just put a plug there. I don't know what the benefit of that is, because I don't know. They both just feed vacuum to this. And if I cap it off and cap it off there, then all I have is this one. But this one couldn't hurt it, could it? I don't think so. So I'm just leaving it. Then I did, before here used to go some different, the whole turkey pan line. It was a big mess. So now I hooked up the JLT, well, can I show it to you guys? There you go, JLT catch can. Okay, so goes from here into there, and then from the other side, which is kind of hard, but right there from there it goes down into the valve cover right there. Okay, and so that's how this one is. This came with the truck. I got a box of parts with the truck, and I had this one for $3.99. So basically I just used it, and it cleans up the stuff, and it may catch some oil, I don't know. But I didn't come with the little bracket, so I just kind of zip tied it there. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's a little dangly, but it ain't that bad, so I can live with it. For $3.99, I can't complain. And that's all your vacuum lines, really. So that's kind of how I ran it. I looked at a bunch of videos. People do it differently depending on their setup, so it's kind of hard to get a good, solid answer. But I think I have everything. Obviously, the intake's back on. Got my sensors plugged up. Everything's going good. Batteries in. Trying to think here. Yeah, new spark plugs. Everything else is connected back in here. So I think we're ready to start it and see what it'll do. Okay, so. Well, she's on. I got her idling. It's been idling for about maybe 5 minutes now. But yeah, I don't hear nothing crazy. No leaks. The intercooler pump is flowing. Still got coolant in here. There's no noise coming from the blower, so I was worried about that. I was thinking I don't know. My first time messing with a blower, so I don't know if I messed something up. But no grinding. You can hear the intake sucking. But yeah, I'm gonna let it get up to temp. Right now, it's still cold, so I'm gonna let her get up to temp and see what it does. This is all from before when I took out the intercooler and it was leaking from the hose. But yeah, so we're just gonna let her run and idle. Let it get up to temp, make sure it's not gonna overheat, doesn't need more coolant. And yeah, I'll check in back whenever I get this thing maybe ready to go out for a little drive, see what it does. All right, guys, so got the Lightning out, took it up for a little spin. Here's the engine bay. Everything's put back together. I'm sure I made a video of everything, but I got the JLT intake already. Catch can already on it. K&N intake back on it. AccuFab single blade throttle body. It's got JC Customs EGR delete. And then I reran all the fucking vacuum lines, fixed all the ones that were ripped up or broken. So now the blower's ported, so you guys seen that. The do-it-yourself port job. Not tuned, stock fully, stock lower. So it's not crazy fast or nothing crazy, but it's just, you know, a good little truck. It's still dirty, still filthy. I gotta clean all this up. But yeah, it's fun. Let me turn the AC off. So I can give this thing a little rev for you guys. I think it sucks a lot louder. You can kind of hear the intake, but let's see. But yeah, let's see what she'll do from a dead still.